Hey guys, I decided to make this video on my 20-gallon planted aquarium, and yeah, so to get us started off, I guess I'll talk about my plants, I guess. So I have tons of different, well, only 2 different cryptocorum species, but there's a ton of it. I have cryptocorum wenti, cryptocorum lutea or lutea, or however you want to pronounce that. I've got bacopa, a bit of moneywort, if you can see, ambulia or lemnophilia, some dwarf sage, some val, American val, Amazon swords over here, a decent amount of java fern that has a bit of, blackbeard algae, but you all get that nowadays. Java moss. What is it? Pearlweed. Tons of pearlweed. Some more val down here. Some floating plants like I have a bit of Amazonian frog bit, a bit of mini water lettuce. Got a ton of stuff in that tank, but it's about this tank, and that's 90% of the plants in this tank, and hopefully I mentioned all of them. If I didn't, then I guess I just forgot. For stocking, I have 5 rummy nose tetras. I know that isn't a lot, but I will be getting more in the future. 7 neon tetras. There's only 5 right now. There's other 2 are somewhere else in the tank. That's 6. But I have 7 of them. I have 6 bloodfin tetras. Quite a few guppies. They aren't spawning for me, unfortunately. One of them contracted dropsy. It's in that tank. I have 1 angel that I'm planning to grow out. Once it gets larger, I'll move it into this tank. Some Platiscories or Platiscories or whatever you want to call them. Unfortunately, I only have one autocyclus catfish. I'm not too sure where it is right now. Oh, there it is. It's just kind of sitting there by itself. I've got 2 black hoolie loaches, which is pretty unfortunate because I should get more. This tank seems really overstocked. I'm just going to say that right now. And it's not a great thing, but I think it's decent because when it's overstocked, this is probably going to sound really stupid, but in an overstocked tank like this, the waste will build up, the detritus will get out all over the bottom, it'll dissolve, not dissolve, but like decompose and then turn to ammonia, from there convert to nitrate, and whatnot. But during that cycle, that allows bacteria to grow, and it feeds them, so that's the only plus side, I think. But other than that, this is really overstocked. It probably doesn't look like that. I also have a couple of shrimp in this tank, but I don't know where they are. Whenever I would take fish out and there would be no fish in this tank, they start roaming around. But right now, I guess since there's fish, they like to hide. Don't know if you can see, but there's one of my black hoolie loaches just kind of chilling, sitting back in there. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, that's basically all my fish in this tank. For filtration, I have a basic water bottle filter that's hooked up, well, basically a water bottle filter with a power head on top. I learned how to do this from other YouTubers, from forums, from internet, from DIY videos. some people, instead of letting the filter floss just kind of hang around here, they would actually put like a cap or something over top of it. And not a cap, but like they would keep the bottom half on, but for certain reasons I would cut it off, and those reasons are to allow a lot more flow, and it's slightly more efficient, I think. The only downside to this is it's hanging out and looks a bit ugly, and sometimes, and this is sometimes, which almost never happens, it's only happened to me twice, but sometimes fish would get stuck inside the filter floss, like they would get inside like they'd get into the sides, and then just get stuck right in there. And yeah, I know this tank might look a bit overgrown and whatnot. This still has, the lemnophilia still has quite a bit to grow, but they are growing quite fast. I did trim them like a week or two ago. That might not seem like fast growth to you, but to me, I find this quite nice. What I'm using personally is two T5 like tube fixtures and whatnot, and they're putting in a decent amount of light. You can't even see it. That's because the camera's really bad on this thing. But yeah, that's what's growing my plants. I have decent growth. I'm happy with it, and yeah. I do dose fertilizers in this tank. I have Flourish Potassium, Flourish Iron, and Flourish Comprehensive. They do grow my plants decently. The potassium definitely repairs the leaves, or the holes and whatnot, which is kind of cool, I guess. The iron does allow some of the plants to get almost a reddish tone. Not even a reddish tone, what am I saying, but like a darker tone to it. It won't focus, but some of the pro weed, before I trimmed it, was starting to turn a bit red, which is pretty cool. I also have microculture that I'm trying to start. I have one over here that's dying on me, but there's still quite a bit of microworms left. And I also started another one, which is also slowly growing as well. And yeah, the downsides to using these T8 bulbs, I guess, is that they do grow out. Oh my gosh, Jason, get out of there. They do grow algae. Algae does like to grow in the glass quite a bit. And yeah, I also decided to name this angel Jason because Jason. And yeah, so I find this a decent tank. So what I feed my fish in this tank is the white shrimp, which is basically krill, bloodworms, and freeze-dried bloodworms, or whatever it is. These Wardley sinking pellets, which are pretty trashy, but you know, that's all I've got. I'm pretty broke as well, so yeah. And I've also got tetracolor tropical granules that I feed most of these other fish that aren't like bottom dwellers. That's basically it for food. I'm trying to think of something else to tell you guys. Also, the gravel I use is black in natural color. It looks pretty screwed up, to be honest, because you see pieces of like dirt and debris, stuff everywhere. This happened when I was moving the tank with my parents down to the basement. And as you can see, the plants are doing decent, but when I moved it, I caused the back end to have this huge mess that I don't want to clean out because there's a ton of stuff growing in it and I like it. But the main issue I have with that is that there's less gravel in the back area over there, and there's more gravel up front. So whenever I try to plant anything back there, like a big plant, it would never, the roots would always be showing, and it would piss me off a bit. But you know, I do have a piece of driftwood in here. It's quite small compared to everything else, but you know, it's there. I currently keep the temperature of this tank at 78, 77 degrees Fahrenheit. It's not too hot because the neons don't really like it that hot, but they can tolerate it, but still. Also, sorry for making this video very long, but I just really wanted to talk about this tank a bit. It's somewhat decent, I guess. Just focus. Anyways, so it's a bit better lighting. So sorry about the background noise. It sounds pretty messed up. And all the filters running. Should turn them off, but you know, I don't really want to. So thanks for watching this basically 12-minute video of me talking about this really messed up, overstocked, overgrown tank of crappiness. But yeah, I personally enjoy this tank. It is getting a bit old, and yep. Goodbye.